saying, that's the Vox G5, and we've got the mic going through it, 3-string cigar box guitar in GDG, and we'd also got one of the sort of auto rhythm things going on this. The amp section, or the preamp section, is very much like this its smaller brother, and I'll just go through that. But this has got a few other features which are quite nice. Basically, it's a battery mains amp. It's a 5 watt, which has got a little bit more poke than the 3, and also it's got a bigger speaker at about 6.5 inch as opposed to the 5 of the G3, and it moves a lot more air, more than you might think. So it's richer in the bass quite a bit. It's also got a very handy feature. You can cut it to I think 1.5 watts and even 0.5 watt, so you can put massive gain on and have it whisper quiet, which is great for practicing. And also, like both of these little amps, it's got a headphone socket, so you can short that out and practice in total silence. I'll just go through the amp section and show you what it will do. Basically, it goes from a clean sound right the way through to an overdriven sound, and there's a little chicken head knob which clicks round and gives you more and more gain. And they're all modelled on classic amps. I'm sure you can work out for yourself if you look at the dial what they're supposed to be, like Fender and Vox and Marshall and Mesa Boogie and that sort of stuff. I'll just play a chord on it, and everything's set to middle on the amp. Just clicking it up and you'll get a little bit more poke as it goes up, and then it starts getting a bit more grit in it as it goes up to the top end. Going super saturated, and then you've got an ultra clean like line setting, which is totally clean. So that's the amp section, and you've got master volume, gain, which is it's not a volume that really controls the equivalent of the sort of preamp stage, which changes how much saturation you've got on the distortion. You've got a tone for, you know, boosting bass, cutting the mid, and then there's a whole effects section. Now that's really, again, it's just a rotary knob, and it just goes through a few different effects. The first one you hit on the dial is a compressor, which is an interesting thing because I've not really got much knowledge of compressors, but what it does, it gives you more sustain and it adds to the richness of the gain. And I found on these little Vox Mini amps, it's a really powerful tool to use. So it goes through the compression. You can hear it kicking in a bit there. It's added another level of gain to it. That's just on the clean setting. Then it goes through chorus, gives that bit of fluid movement to it, and then flanger. You can control the speed of that, and classic tremolo. Just knock that off, and on the other side you've got two different sorts of echo. I think we've got analog. There's a little tap button, and if you tap it at the tempo, that's a different, I think that's the tape. And then you got spring reverb and room reverb, which is a bit more exaggerated. So there's a lot you can do. The microphone is on a separate channel, which is a real plus point. So it's effectively a 2-channel amp, and it's got one control with how how much you put into the mix. Oop, that's winding up too much, so I'm getting feedback, so I'm so close to it. And the other cool thing is it's got a send, so you can, whatever effects you've got, there you go, you've got a little bit of reverb on it. It'll only work on the echo and the reverb, but you can dial in the reverb separately on the guitar and on the vocal, which is handy. It's also got, let's take that off. It's also got an Aux input, so you can put in backing tracks from your iPhone. And it's also got headphones out as well, so you can plug that in, mute the speaker, and it'll be silent. Works off 6 AA batteries or the mains adapter, which is provided. It's all the effects of it's all digital modeling. The great thing is it doesn't have any sort of screen menu. It's just rotary dials. I'll show you that in a second. So it's very easy to use. And the other thing is it's got this rhythm section. There's about, I think there are 11 basic presets. It goes from like 8-beat, 16 rock, metal, jazz, Latin, dance, hip hop sort of stuff, and also got a regular metronome on it. Each of those 3 settings, there's a button you can press and it will scan through, and each of those has got 9 different variations. There's a little LED and you got red in one position, red in the middle, red on the right, then orange, then green. So you can see where you are. So no complicated menus. And as I've done, I mean, I've not spent much time with it, but I've just fiddled about with the buttons thinking, that works. I know that if it's on the rock setting, red in the one position, that will do for me. I can work with it. And as I was playing at the beginning, it's easy enough to get that, and it's great for practicing at home. I'm used to playing with a drummer and a bass player, but they're not on hand all the time, and it's a great tool for getting your rhythm playing and your playing generally literally up to speed. And of course you can slow it down because you can dial down the tempo as slow as you want, and you can decide how much of that you want in the overall mix, so you can vary it from nothing to fairly loud, so it's further in the mix. So it's quite a sophisticated little box of tricks. A super busking amp, because it's got that bit more presence, bit more bass. You got the rhythm. You can do some fairly sophisticated stuff once you get the hang of it. We'll have a look at the top of it now. Okay, here's the top of the amp. You've got the 2 inputs. You've got your microphone and your guitar. That's your mic controls. That's how much you put in the mix. That's how much you send to effects. Then you have got the modeling selector. Click, 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 click round there from clean right the way through to dirty. And then you have got gain, tone, and overall volume. Here's the little switch, and you can knock it from full 5 watts down to 1.5 or down to half a watt. This is the rhythm section of things. So you can see it again, there's various types here: 8-beat, 16 rock, metal, pop, rap, jazz, Latin, dance, and so forth. And again, you can set the tempo, how quick or slow, and how much you want in the mix. And then that's your little variation. So here we are, say on rock, and we just press the button and it goes, that's the orange, and then it'll scroll through red, and that'll scroll through green. And there'll be a variation if I just... Okay, we've got green there. That's the orange. That's the orange in the middle. Orange on the right, and then it'll go through the red. And then back through the green and the orange. So, and it'll do that on each of those settings, so you have got a big range of settings on it. But as I say, there's no complicated screen. That's your on off. You've got your input, phones, power in the back, and that's it. I like this because it's very simple. It's a teeny bit bigger than its small brother, and the obviously comparison, the Roland MicroCube, but this I think is much more than the Roland MicroCube. It's quite a lot more powerful. It's got that other channel. The delays and that are much more, I think they're much more sophisticated. It's richer in the bottom end. It's more equivalent to the Roland Street, the 2-channel 2-speaker version of that thing, but I think this is a lot cheaper. So there you go. Okay, so there you have it, the Vox Mini 5. Great little amp, wonderful tool for practicing and for learning, improve your skills, and I think a great match for your cigar box guitar. Thanks for viewing, and bye for now.